It's great to be back from the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States. I didn't do much. I will talk about it on the bonus show. And the reason I didn't do much is with vaccines for coronavirus so close, why would I do anything at this crucial time with light at the end of the tunnel to make the spread potentially even worse? And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to get really, really bad. We don't yet have the numbers that will tell us the impact of the Thanksgiving travel. Reportedly, almost as many people as in a normal year, a non-pandemic year, flying around for Thanksgiving. We won't know the impact of that in terms of cases for a couple of weeks and in terms of deaths for a couple of more weeks beyond that because of the timeline of these spike and super spreader events. But even without the numbers that will be caused by Thanksgiving travel and gatherings, the United States coronavirus pandemic is completely out of control. And Donald Trump insisted in the run up to the election that it was all political. After the election, you're not going to hear anything else about the virus. November 4th, everything opens, schools open, everything opens. Obviously, this has not happened, and the opposite is actually the truth. In terms of cases per capita, the United States has risen to sixth most cases per capita in the world, excluding a couple of really tiny countries and territories, places like Andorra, which kind of throw off the data. Similarly, when it comes to deaths using that same standard, the United States has the seventh highest rate of deaths per capita in the world. These are horrifying numbers. Now, in terms of cases and deaths in the U.S., the U.S. now has roughly 13.7 million known cases and 273,000 known deaths. The numbers for both could be 30 or even 50% higher, as we've previously described. Remember, Trump said 15 cases will soon be zero. Nobody here has died. We might have 50,000 deaths, maybe, but probably not. And on and on and on. We are at 273,000. Nothing is being done at this point in time. Now, recall that we had a spike in April to about 32,000 cases per day. And at the time, it looked like a big spike, and then they dipped back down. And then we had a second spike in July that doubled that up to about 70,000 cases per day. And it seemed crazy. And they started to decline. But Dr. Fauci said, if we are not careful, we will get beyond 100,000 cases per day in the fall. And half the country didn't believe Dr. Anthony Fauci. And looking at the chart of those cases, those initial spikes now look like mere molehills compared to the current numbers, where we saw as many as 178,000 cases in a single day a few days ago. Now, over the last few days, because of the holiday, combined with weekend reporting, which tends to be lower, we see a bit of a dip. We expect to see those numbers caught up on in the next few days. And of course, it's not just cases, it's also deaths spiking. We are back up to the numbers of that horrible early spike of about 2,000 deaths a day. We even had 2,300 deaths in a single day last week. And it is completely possible and plausible that these numbers are going to keep climbing due to Thanksgiving gatherings, now heading into Christmas and New Year's. There are people who are just determined to live as if everything is completely normal. Large indoor gatherings. It is going to be insane. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we are very close to vaccines. We are expecting at this point, it is no longer a pipe dream. We are expecting that there will be people being vaccinated on either December 11th or December 12th. December 8 to 10, the FDA is meeting with these nonpartisan advisory boards to say, are we doing an emergency use authorization at least for the Pfizer vaccine, and then we'll see if the Moderna vaccine, it would be discussed at that same time, or maybe that one will take a little bit longer. If that is the case, vaccines are already being transported. United Airlines flights bringing vaccines from Belgium to Chicago for further distribution. The logistics are on the move. We are this close. We could have 20 million people vaccinated by the end of December. We could have another 30 million by the end of January, another 30 to 35 million by the end of February. So what that means is that in the next 3 months, it's basically December, in December, January, February, we could potentially have 80 to 85 million people vaccinated by the last day of February. We are getting close. This is not the time to behave irresponsibly and see this absolutely almost cartoonish rise in cases. Dr. Fauci saying to Martha Raddatz over the weekend that you could see this looks like a surge. You could see Thanksgiving and Christmas accelerated even more to a surge upon a surge. Let's not do it. This has nothing to, Trump failed. Yes, Trump failed. Trump's got days left in his presidency. Let's get this under control because we are so close. And we'll keep you posted on the numbers and the data, but it is looking very, very ugly so far. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.